Well, Alec Baldwin is back in the news again, but this time for a really weird reason. Not that the other reason wasn't a weird one, but this one also is. And we've got Like a Dragon Yakuza, the video game, being made into a television series. And director Terry Gilliam, most known for Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, has a new movie coming out. And there's some interesting details. Let's go ahead and do this. All right. Well, first and foremost, folks, if you are not familiar with Criticalist, make sure to go to criticalist.com. It's critic and less, one word, criticalist.com. Make sure to look for us in the Apple and Android stores. Go ahead and create an account and review some movies and television shows. But let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of today, which is Alec Baldwin. And it's the fact that he is having a TLC reality series based off of him called The Baldwins, which is coming out in 2025. And this just I can't with this. It's just ridiculous. I mean, the question is, it's like, what does one do when they can't get work in Hollywood because they're kind of untouchable because they might or might not have murdered someone? And this person has just, been known for being a political activist in general and very anti-gun, and the list goes on. But then they have this incident happen, and then they just end up in litigations over and over, and they're like, what do I do with my career next? Well, obviously the best move is to make a television show as a 60 some odd year old man who has a bajillion children that are extremely young. I mean, that's what you do. You make a reality television show because what else do you do with your time? You just let a bunch of TV crews into your household and stir your crap up even worse than it already was before. So the news here is that Alec and Hilaria Baldwin are inviting viewers into their chaotic home for a reality series airing on TLC in 2025. The husband and wife duo announced the show, working title The Baldwins, in a video posted to Instagram in which their 7 children run around the house screaming because, that sounds like an absolute blasty blast here. So, I mean, I guess they just, wanted to announce this all on their own. I'm not seeing any children running around screaming. This is just them more so talking about it. I did not realize that he had so many young children, nor do I really care in the least. But basically, I think people will probably watch this, especially depending on what happens with his verdict. And I'm curious on the filming of this and everything surrounding it, because if you don't know, like I mentioned earlier, Alec Baldwin is under investigation, I best guess is the best way, or under a ruling right now, and has court scheduled basically for involuntary manslaughter, where he was making a Western film and he shot somebody. Now, from what I gather, actually the guy who was in charge of, safety and all of those things has already been convicted and has time. But basically, just recently, we found out that the judge over the case and this fatal shooting of the killing of the director of the film, basically the judge has decided to not let this slide, and he thought that he was going to get the typical celebrity treatment and just get to ride off into the sunset with no real charges and nothing really going on here. But basically the judge called Baldwin shameless and said that he was trying to escape culpability for everything that he did. And so now there is more going on with his court case, which was what makes me think that really this is TLC trying to capitalize on a moment here. And if he does end up doing time, which it will be cushy time, we all know. But if he ends up doing time, then that will make this even more interesting. And it'll give him something to do in the downtime while he most likely cannot get a job. But yeah, basically they just say that they are wrangling their kids, and we get to watch that because many of us can't just watch that in our own household. We'd rather watch these idiots do it. So I mean, I just really I don't know who's interested in this or who's planning on watching it. I mean, clearly people watch trashy reality television. I am not one of those people. I am not in the demographic or the market or any of the above. I do not care. It's mostly scripted stuff for me. Reality TV does nothing for me because it's not reality. It's just a bunch of fake trash. So sorry for everybody who loves that crap, but I am just not that guy. But basically it says that they're calling this a follow doc series, and they keep just bringing up in this article the fact that they are inviting viewers into their home for the first time, and they say that it is going to bring everyone in to join in on the nonstop love, laughter, and drama, because, we've got to make people make sure that they love Alec Baldwin when he's up here for his court case. So the announcement comes as Alec Baldwin awaits trial for July is when they say that this is going to be. And they kind of break down in the article, everything that was going on with that, which I brought up the separate article as well. We will put both of these in the show notes, and you guys can kind of look into that if you don't know more about the story. But really, this is the main bit of news, is just that they are planning on doing this reality TV show. And I don't have anything nice to say about it because it is stupid. So I would rather just go ahead and talk about this video game that's being made into a television show. Now, this has me intrigued. Granted, I know little to nothing about Like a Dragon or the Yakuza series in general. From what I gather, they are very loved. I've been hearing about them for years. I do play a lot of video games, but this is just not one of them. I don't tend to lean into very hard Japanese video games. It's just, this is a Sega franchise, but it's just Sega in general. I haven't played much of their stuff in a very long time. It's just not really my type of game. But I don't know, maybe if I really like this show and it turns out to be pretty awesome, then who knows, I might dig into it and find it on Xbox Game Pass or something. But basically what they are saying is that this is actually going to be a 6-part crime suspense action series, and it's directed by Take Masaru, who did 100 Yen Love. Now, I looked into him, and basically it is a whole bunch of Japanese film and television work, and it's all been pretty much overseas over there. And now I think that he has tampered around a little bit with Netflix and things like that, but it's not, most US viewers are probably not going to be familiar with his work. Now, it does say that they also have leads attached to the film as well, but I'm not going to try and say these Japanese names either, but you can take a look at that yourself. And what it says is that these are going to upload on Prime Video in 2 batches of 3 episodes. So basically, we're just going to have 2 drops, 3 episodes apiece. So this is kind of interesting. It's not to week to week, but they are going to have us wait a little bit. So it says on October 25th and November 1st. So we've got a little bit of time in between episodes, and we're going to get 2 of them dropped, and they're going to be dubbed versions of it in 30 languages and subtitled and everything as well, which tells me that this is also going to be a Japanese series. So it is going to stick to its roots as far as a video game franchise and just culturally everything about it. Now, actually, this does make me a little bit happy, because even though this is going to be released by Prime Video, it sounds like they are more of picking this up than they are actually like creating this, from the sounds of this article. Because I mean, it sounds like it's already deep into production, and basically already, a chunk of it is already made, it at the very least. And to me right now, foreign cinema is excelling, because what foreign cinema has gotten right and continues to lately is that they are putting a priority on quality and storytelling, and not revolving everything around politics and social justice. And that is what's going on within Hollywood right now, and it's tanking everything because the wrong people are getting the jobs and things just aren't getting done properly. And all of this isn't happening overseas, and so their stuff is still just chugging along like normal, and decent things are still coming out. So what it says is the series story is set in 2 time periods. It's going to be in 1995 and 2005. So it's 2 earlier time periods, but really not that terribly long ago, I say, but I guess to like a Gen Zer, it probably would be. But basically, it is going to follow the life, childhood of childhood friends, and the repercussions of their decisions of a fearsome and peerless Yakuza warrior with a strong sense of justice, duty, and humanity. The screenplay and story are written by Sean Crouch and Nakamura Yugo, with a Japanese screenplay by Yoshida Yosharo and Yoshida Kana. So it says that basically the series, they kind of break down what's going on with the video game series Yakuza, which started in 2005. And then the Like a Dragon series was kind of a bit of a spinoff about some of these gangsters. And I'm sure if you're familiar with the games, then you're a lot more familiar with what's going to be coming out with this show. And to me, it sounds pretty awesome. I mean, a Japanese gang show sounds pretty great. I have been consuming a whole lot of Japanese and Chinese and all sorts of other nationalities films and stuff lately that have either been coming out on Netflix and been kind of a little bit of dual language, or just strictly subtitled. I mean, we're looking at an extreme success right now with Hulu, with the show that they've released. And so, I mean, there's just a lot happening right now with foreign film, and this sounds promising. So basically, the director is saying that, he's poured out his heart and soul into this, and basically he's had like 35 years of, building up with this franchise, and he's just really excited to make it. And I think this sounds really cool. This is a pretty dense article, and I kind of read through some of it, but wasn't familiar enough with the franchise for it to really do a whole lot for me right now. But I am excited to watch this, and when it drops, it's not far away. We've got an October-November release in 2 drops, and I will be watching it. And video game cinema in general has been on an upward, take lately, and I think that there's a good chance that this could be pretty awesome. So the next little bit of news here is about a Terry Gilliam film. I've been seeing some news lately, and then I caught this post from Culture Crave, and they kind of shared it. Basically, Terry Gilliam did an article with, I think, a French newspaper, and so I went to try and read it, and it was not in English, and so I bailed on the article and then tried to scour the internet for more information. But basically what it's saying is that Terry Gilliam says that Johnny Depp is going to be playing Satan, and Jeff Bridges is going to be playing God in his new film, The Carnival at the End of Days. And so that's the name of the new movie, obviously, and it's going to be starring Adam Driver and Jason Momoa, who are on the cast as well. And it says it will be very funny for those who like to be offended. That was kind of his quote with the newspaper. And this sounds pretty interesting. Now, if you're not familiar with Terry Gilliam, he has been around a really long time. Most what he's been known for is Monty Python, but for me, it is Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. But this guy, between the things that he has acted in and directed in, the list goes on and on and on. And he is definitely familiar with edgy, over-the-top, kind of ridiculous filmmaking, and he hangs out with some interesting characters, and everything about this sounds pretty neat. Now, I went and pulled up the article, and basically they've kind of broken down a little bit more here. But if you are not aware as well, Johnny Depp obviously has been in some type of purgatory basically since all of the crap got stirred up with his ex-wife, and he finally got through all the court proceedings and is now acting again. He recently released a film not long ago. Here's a photo from it. He's playing King Louis, and I don't know. I heard decent things, but I didn't hear a whole lot about the movie, in general. It seems like people are liking it okay, but, he's on his way back, which is great. Those of us that are 90s and 2000s folks, and 80s as well, especially, we all have a lot of love for Johnny Depp. So seeing him disappear was pretty sad. And this is someone who's worked with before, being Terry Gilliam. So basically, they dig in a little bit to what this is going to be, and they're saying that it's a comedy where God decides to destroy humanity. And that concept sounds pretty awesome. And they're saying that Jeff Bridges, as who's playing God, is saying that they are using a lot of nature and animation to bring it to life. And it sounds like it's going to be a bit of an interesting and expensive, is actually how they described it, job that for these scenes that are going to have Satan and the devil. But basically the whole point is that Johnny Depp, who's playing Satan, wants to save Earth and humanity because he needs souls for hell, or he is going to be out of a job. So this sounds like it's going to be a wee bit sacrilegious, but also probably pretty funny and interesting. And I really like meta weird takes like this, as long as it doesn't get so outrageously blasphemous. But I mean, this sounds like it could be a pretty fun movie. The cast is looking pretty awesome. And I mean, the articles, I've been trying and digging to find more about this, but it's like little bits and pieces here and there, but nobody's got just like a good, solid, article for me here. But it sounds like it's going to be coming out, or starting to film, at least in January of 2025. So the thing is rolling and will be, a little ways out still, obviously. But with this casting news, I'm excited. And basically it says that it's going to feature a modern Adam and Eve, and adding to the casting, they're looking for a woman to kind of complete that. So it sounds like Jason Momoa or Adam Driver might be Adam. So that'll be pretty interesting too. I think this sounds cool. And Terry Gilliam has done a lot in the past that I've liked. So I will at least wait to see a trailer for this to see if it's something I'm interested in, because it's not like he's known for doing banger after banger. He's done some really good stuff. He's done some okay stuff. So we'll see. Time will tell. But honestly, I kind of just want to see Johnny Depp back, and seeing him play the devil is going to be interesting. He's played a lot of really cool characters over the years, and this sounds like another fun one to add to his repertoire. Now, one more thing before you go, I figured I will go ahead and let you know that Max is hiking up the prices again for ad-free plans effective immediately. So basically, if you had the ad-free versions, it's going up $1 a month. They're doing this right before the season 2 premiere of House of the Dragon, which makes sense. All these streaming services keep doing crap like this, especially when they have big shows on the brink. So they're just jacking up the prices. And if you're paying for the cheaper version, then yours is going to go up $1. So there you go. Another streaming service getting more expensive, because why the heck not? But interesting bit of news today. This was fun. As always, make sure to go to criticalist.com, download the app in app stores. Make sure to go check out our merch store and just come say hi within Criticalist. Make some friends. We have a really cool place over here. This is definitely more of a social platform for talking about movies and entertainment. So you can really just dig in, find out what your friends like, find out what you like, make a friends with benefits list of folks so that you can see what your friends like. I mean, my friends with benefits score right now for Civil War is an 87, but the audience score for it is a 65. So it looks like there might even be a higher chance of me liking this movie than not. So if you haven't set up a friends with benefits list yet, make sure to do that on your profile as well. But guys, until tomorrow, it's been real. Y'all have a good rest of the day. Later.